Welcome to the Road to the Rose Bowl, where we discuss college football. Who do I have sitting to my left?
This is Brian.
Great. And who do I have sitting in front of me?
This is Jacob.
Awesome. And with week 0 done with and us heading to the official week 1, we figured we'd recap some of the games from week 0 and Thursday night. We figured we'd start with Utah and BYU. What do you think about the Utah-BYU game, Brian?
The only word that comes to mind is disappointing. It's a big rivalry game, and you want to, and even though it's unfair to expect a good game out of every rivalry game you come across, it's always disappointing when it's always a shootout, a blowout. I mean, and there was a lot of hype thinking that this is going to be the year BYU beats Utah.
They had them at home.
Yeah.
And
you got a new stud at quarterback now that's coming in, and it looked like it was going to be a good game.
I actually picked BYU before the game. But man, that turned out to be just ugly.
Yep, it was ugly. That's
It
another good word for it.
It looked good for a half.
It was good for a half. But.
And Jake, you didn't even watch it, did you?
Nah,
No need to.
I couldn't have cared less about it.
It honestly, the Mormon War was pretty terrible.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. You even told me earlier about it was like even had lightning.
They had lightning. They had lightning at 2:00 on East Coast time, different time zones. They're West Coast, but they had a lightning delay, and BYU was there was already 30-13. BYU was down, and BYU, the more reasonable thing to do would be like, okay, let's just cancel the game. It's over. Utah, you take the win. But BYU's administrators were like, no, we're finishing it. So with there was only 2 minutes left too. So
I mean, they'd already pissed off Odin at that point.
yeah.
I mean, why would you want to keep going?
Yep. Made the cornfields angry.
Odin
Mormonville
put a bet on him. I'm getting, and that's why he said, "Screw this! I'm delaying this stupid game." And
nature gave you a mercy rule.
Yeah.
It's like,
but you know what? I was sitting there thinking while watching it. Even Mother Nature is tired of BYU not winning this game.
Yeah.
Like, Mother Nature has had enough of watching this crap. So that's a bad sign whenever Mormon God is mad. But we're going to segue into we're going to go into the Hawaii and Arizona game now. This was part of week 0. This came after the Florida and Miami game, which we'll get to shortly. But, Brian, what did you think about Hawaii and Arizona?
It was fun. It was a fun offensive shootout. It's pretty much... It's a box office type game.
Yeah.
It's a game you go to for the highlight reel.
Yeah.
I do love the fact that it came down to a defensive stop.
I do too. The irony.
Yes, yeah. I do love that, and it got interesting. It really did, because I was constantly expecting Hawaii to just pull away from it to get like a 2 to 3 score lead.
It seemed like that there a couple times around the third quarter that they were just going to, smooth sailing, but no, then they had 5 turnovers.
Yeah, and I give Arizona prop. They stayed in it.
They did. Jake, what do you think about Arizona and Hawaii?
I feel like it was the game that everyone wanted the last Super Bowl to be.
Yes, which to me is not real football, but
yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. I love the last Super Bowl, and
I did too.
My thoughts on this game is the same thoughts I have on any sort of shootout. It's fun for the first quarter, and then after that, it's just the exact same thing.
You're just watching teams march up and down the field.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I watch football to watch a bunch of steroided gorillas beat the crap out of each other. That's what I want to watch.
But you love like the intensity and the violence of the game. And that Hawaii and Arizona game, it was like you had receivers open by miles. There was no defense at all, especially number 6, which me and Brian we love talking about this kid. He had 4 touchdowns against Arizona. Pretty good receiver.
I really enjoyed it. I was hoping he would get 6.
Yeah.
Because he had 3 by the halftime.
Yep.
He had 3 by halftime, if I remember right. And, I was hoping he would get 6 out of it.
He lit Arizona up.
He did. And he had, what was it? Did he have, 12 catches for, 200 yards?
He had 248 yards, something like that. It was something
nuts.
Absurd, yeah.
One thing that surprised me, though, well, not really surprised, but it still kind of... I wasn't expecting it to happen, was that they benched their first quarterback. McDonald's.
Yeah, it was weird because again, like I was explaining last week on last week's episode that they run the run and shoot offense, and the run and shoot offense for our audience that possibly don't know too much about college football or just football in general, the run and shoot offense is an all or nothing playbook. I mean, you go deep or you get picked off, and he had 4 touchdowns passing and he had 4 interceptions.
Right.
So I think they might have benched him, honestly, just for like a confidence thing, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have kept him in myself. But, yeah, I mean, it was a weird game. Yeah, you don't see too many games where quarterback throws for 4 touchdowns, 4 picks. But it's a weird offense to watch, too. You probably won't see anything else like it this year. But we're going to go into our last game from week 0. And this is the game that all of us just loved. It was everything we wanted it to be. Florida versus Miami. Brian, what do you think about this masterpiece of a football game?
It was everything I wanted it to be. I wanted to see how the young talent of Miami was going to handle like this big stage on opening week. And I wanted to see if Florida was going to be able to kind of continue the momentum they got later
Last season, yeah.
from the latter half of last season.
Yep.
And it didn't disappoint. I saw both of those. The young quarterback from Miami really impressed me.
He's good.
He was really good.
For our audience, I will say watch out for him. He's going to be dangerous.
What was his name?
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but for as much punishment as he took during that game,
10 sacks.
10 sacks, and was still like making dimes for throws.
He wasn't fazed by the pressure.
No, and he's a freshman. I mean, that says a lot, especially on the big stage against the number 8 team, a veteran football team, against Florida. You know,
And I was also impressed by Franks, the Florida quarterback. He played very well, I thought.
He was a weird. He honestly, that game I think summarizes his career. He's inconsistent, but whenever you need him to make like the play,
He'll make it.
He'll make it.
Yeah.
He's a very good college quarterback, and I like Franks. I know a lot of people don't really like him, especially Florida fans. But I don't know. I find him just be not the best, but he's very reliable.
They can't all be Tim Tebow guys.
Yeah, I mean, calm down, people. What do you think, Jake, about Florida and Miami?
It really made me see that if the Hurricanes can keep their act together and the players don't get into crazy trouble or something, or just something haywire happens.
City of Miami is a dangerous place.
Dade County, man, it's bad off. But as long as they can keep their crap together, they will be very dangerous in the coming years.
I hadn't even thought about that point, but this team is so young, and if they start to get off on a hot start, you're in the city of Miami, and there's a possibility they could be seduced by success or things like that. And that's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that one, to be honest with you.
There's some young Joes that are all over TV.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very
Bunch
easy
of
to let that.
freshmen.
It's easy to let that get to your head, and as long as they don't, and they can keep together, they'll be
dangerous.
tremendous team. And I could see them going to win a championship or maybe even 2.
Yeah,
if they really
not this
wanted
year.
to.
But
No, I'm not going to have them doing it this
Yeah.
year just because we saw. Yes,
They
they're
also
really
have-
talented, but they're very young.
they also have some O-line problems.
Oh, yeah.
Their O-line needs to get their crap together because I don't care if you're playing the I don't care if you're playing the Steelers from the 70s. There is no excuse for 10 sacks.
Now, to be
None.
fair,
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
I will be fair here and say that a lot of those guys, they graduated 4 months ago.
Yes.
I will be fair and
Yes.
say they graduated from
They're
high
very
school.
green.
They were high school graduates 4 months ago.
Yep.
So I'll be fair in that, but yeah, I mean, if you are right, 10 sacks is still 10 sacks.
Whenever you get into double digits in
Yeah.
sacks,
That's bad.
There's a problem,
Like-
and that needs to be addressed quickly.
I mean, you can say it's unacceptable to have 2 sacks a game,
Yes.
but 10 sacks,
I'm surprised
Yeah.
that quarterback's still standing.
Yeah.
That kid,
he's tough.
he showed me a lot. That kid's a tough player.
But how long could that carry on? I don't think it really could for long.
One
and him
thing I
having
will say is I don't think he's going to be facing the level of competition in the ACC that he was facing against Florida, because the ACC, if you look at the rest of Miami's schedule, they don't play a ranked team until possibly the ACC championship game. The rest of their schedule, they don't play one ranked team. So I could see them possibly winning out and then getting, socked, like knocked out against Clemson. But
That's also probably a bad thing for their future too, though, because if you're not playing really good teams, these young players are going to get it in their minds that they should always be winning. It could be a real morale drainer when they lose.
to a team that they shouldn't.
Exactly.
You could make an argument that happened to Alabama last year.
You could, but I don't
Well,
know.
scratch that.
Yeah, the SEC.
Yeah,
the SEC's nuts.
But I do remember just about every Alabama game I watched last year.
Tua was out by the fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a thing where, like, how easy is their schedule? And whenever they had to come up across Georgia and Clemson, you can kind of see the cracks.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be as... It's still the SEC versus the ACC. So that is kind of a false equation.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. But I figured we would now segue into our conference predictions.
Right.
This is a interesting segment. Jake's got some really funny ones here.
For the meme, man. For the meme.
Yeah, for the memes.
That's all you
gotta
want.
do it for the lols, man. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get the ACC out of the way because we all have the same team here.
Yeah. It's obvious.
Clemson.
It's Clemson and everybody else.
Yeah. No one cares about anybody else, and the ACC is garbage.
Minus Clemson.
Yeah.
And possibly Miami, but still.
Yeah. As for the Big 12, this is Tyler speaking. I've got Oklahoma Sooners. They're a reliable program. I know they're losing their quarterback, and they have a transfer coming in, Jalen Hurts. But until they don't win the Big 12, I'm not picking against them. Which, if I use that philosophy for the Big 10, my pick makes no sense. But I'm actually going with Michigan. There is no excuse this year to lose to Ohio State. It has to be this year. If you lose to Ohio State, I don't care if they're 11-1. Harbaugh needs to be gone. The Pac-12, I have. Okay, this is a weird one. The Pac-12, I am going with USC. I don't think the Pac-12 is that great of a conference, even though it's a Power 5 conference. USC probably has the most talent, but I don't know. I'm just not. I'm just going to stick with the talent in the Pac-12, and they got a new offensive coordinator, Graham Harrell from North Texas. So I'm going to go with University of Southern Cal. The SEC, I'm going to go with Alabama, the most reliable program in the SEC. Alabama for the last 10 years has been, the team in college football. They've been the New England Patriots of college football in the fact that they're very consistent. You can always rely on them to be successful. And as much as I don't like them, I do respect the way they've built their program. The American Conference is probably my favorite conference to watch. And I'm actually not picking UCF like a lot of people are predicting. UCF has won the American the last 2 years, but I'm actually going with Cincinnati. They returned most of their starters. They put up a good showing last night against UCLA, and I think they'll be the New Year's Six representative out of the group of 5. Conference USA, we all have picked Marshall here. They returned most of their starters, and I don't know. We all like Marshall, so
Yeah, well,
A
a lot of these picks are based on
teams we like.
Yeah. Or teams that we're just kind of fans of.
Yeah, or just the obvious one like the ACC.
I watched We Are Marshall once.
Yeah.
That's why I picked them.
What an artful masterpiece that
was a
movie
beautiful
is.
movie, man.
So thought-provoking.
We Are Marshall.
Yep. As for the MAC, I'm going with the Toledo Rockets. I like Toledo. They're one of the more consistent MAC programs out there. You can expect about a 9-3 season, 10-2 maybe. They're a good program. Now, as for the Mountain West, we all have different picks here, which I'm very excited about. I'm going with the Boise State Broncos. Boise State has been a staple for like a group of 5 program over the last couple of years. Consistency, a good winning culture. They don't recruit the 5-star athletes, but for the most part, they're consistently a 8-4, 9-3, 10-2 program. You can always rely on them to have a good year. And for the final conference, the Sun Belt Fun Belt, my favorite out of all these goofy conferences. This conference is so small and just I love it. If you want to watch good Thursday night football, these games usually premiere on Thursdays or even Tuesdays at times. But I'm going to go with Georgia Southern. I've thought about picking App State. Jake's shaking his head at me. His pick's stupid, but we'll get to that later.
I disagree, but that's teach their own.
Okay, but I'm going to go with Georgia Southern. Anybody that knows me as a football fan, I like flexbone offense, option football. And Georgia Southern is like a downhill, run-in-your-face team. And I know App State will probably win this conference. They have been the more consistent program, but Georgia Southern actually did beat App State last year. But that's my picks for the conferences, and we're going to hand it over to Brian.
Yeah, as you said, the ACC and the SEC, we have the same picks. It's Clemson and Alabama.
Nope. Jacob, SEC. He has a different
really?
pick. And it's dumb, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'll tell you why when it gets to me.
For the Big 12, I'm actually not going with Oklahoma, as I made it clear last week. I do think Oklahoma will slip a little bit this year, and I actually think Texas will win the Big 12. For the Big 10, yeah, I completely agree with you. Michigan, it's not the fact that we're picking Michigan, we're hoping Michigan to win or anything. Michigan has to win this year.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
If they do not beat Ohio State this year,
fire him.
yes.
Fire Harbaugh.
It's done.
There's no excuse.
Yeah, we are out of excuses. You picked, for Big 12, I'm actually going with Utah.
You mean Pac-12?
Oh, that's
And
Pac-12.
another one of them blunders.
Yeah, another blunder on my
Jalen
part.
Rose.
Jalen Rose and now Big 12. Yeah. It's going to be once an episode.
I think it's going to be a staple for this show.
Yeah, a Brian Atkins brain fart.
Trademark, all rights reserved.
Yep. We need to get a T-shirt.
Yeah, like I said, Alabama for the SEC. For the American, I do agree. Cincinnati, they're coming off a really good year. Most of their starters are returning.
Yep.
And they had a really good showing last night. So yeah, I'm going with the American Cincinnati. And again, Marshall. For the MAC, I'm agreeing with you with Toledo, but that's mainly because Toledo's really the only team I know from the MAC.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically.
Khalil Mack went to Buffalo.
Huh?
Buffalo's in that conference, and Khalil Mack went there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, just neat little tidbit.
Yeah, and for the
Mountain West.
Mountain West, yeah, for the Mountain West, I'm actually going for Fresno State.
Yeah.
Is what I'm going with because they're a pretty consistent ball team, and
They'll schedule anybody anywhere too, which I do respect about that program.
It's just a program that I trust.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with them.
Yeah.
And for the Sun Belt, I'm going with App State just because I'm a fan of App State.
You did forget Fun Belt.
It's the Fun Belt.
It's the Fun Belt.
The Fun Belt.
the
Fun Belt.
funnest of belts.
I think App State will win the Fun Belt.
I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Unlike Jake's.
Yes.
Okay, my picks are the best, first of all, and I don't appreciate that.
We'll come back to this.
Yeah, don't worry about it. All right, of course, the ACC, Clemson. Why pick anything else?
Yeah.
Big 12 because hook 'em horns, man.
He's a Texas fan.
Yeah. Whenever I was little, I really liked Texas, so
Vince
I'll pick it up where I left off.
Yep.
Now, Big 10, I chose Ohio State.
Yes.
Because I'm not a big fan of Michigan.
That and Michigan cannot beat them. Like, they have to beat them this year.
And I used to keep up with Ohio State a little bit too.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore, but I like the colors too. Really cool helmets.
Scarlet and gray.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful.
So we'll go on to the
Pac-12.
Pac-12.
Yep.
And I got Oregon because they have 78 different uniforms.
Well, the owner of Nike went to Oregon.
And the owner of Nike went there.
Yeah.
Those are my only reasons.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on
They
Nike.
do have the best stadium in the Pac-12.
Really?
Autzen Stadium. It's so loud.
See, I didn't know that.
But they are also 4-8 in road games against ranked teams over the last couple of years.
Well, I'll just go ahead and add best stadium in the conference
Why
to my
not?
list of reasons why. But yeah, the 78 different uniforms, definitely.
That's the main reason.
That's the big
reason. Of course.
reason, yes.
That's the most important. That's what wins games.
Yeah. Got to keep them colors flowing, man. SEC, I chose Florida.
Yeah, this is stupid. They ain't beating Georgia.
You're stupid.
They're not beating Georgia for the East.
They're not the best team in their division, let alone their conference.
Brian,
This is his pick.
Brian, this is my pick, and the spirit of Tebow will carry them. That is my reason.
Are you kidding me?
That is my reasoning.
Well, you know what? with that logic, I mean, as much as we're joking right now, the spirit of Tebow did carry the Denver Broncos to the playoffs that one time.
That's correct.
Because Tebow was garbage.
Now listen.
Absolute garbage.
Tebow will carry them.
Yep.
That big statue they put up for him.
Yep.
With that plaque of that stupid speech he gave.
Yep.
That was so overrated.
Yep.
Next up be the American League,
Mhm.
and I've got Temple
Woohoo!
because I like Temple, man.
Temple Owls.
They're one of my favorite small schools.
Yeah.
Really like them. Them and Rice.
Yeah.
No idea why I like Rice.
Rice is good. I do like eating rice.
I do, yeah.
Pretty
Exactly.
tasty. Yeah,
See?
pretty delicious.
Go to Peking and get you some rice.
It's like the cheapest thing in the world, and they just like put it in the tray and make you pay $15 for it. It's
Mitch
ridiculous.
Mitch Hedberg had the greatest thing to say about it. If you want to eat 1,000,000 or 1,000 of something, you eat rice.
For anybody that don't know, Peking is a local Chinese restaurant. They're okay. They're fine.
It's the greatest food ever made. Onwards to the Conference USA. Marshall.
Mhm.
We are Marshall.
We are Marshall.
All right, that was quick. Next is the MAC. Will be
Northern Illinois.
how can you read my mind or something?
Yes, I can.
Okay, fine.
I have the power.
Northern Illinois. The only reason, and I really wish we had footage of this to show it
This
to you
is
all.
amazing.
But the only reason I chose this is because we were playing, what was it, NCAA 08?
07.
07?
Yeah.
And we were playing as Temple,
Mhm.
and we ended up going up against Northern Illinois. And we ended up having the great cannon, the untextured, unmeshed cannon that would fire out nothing.
Yeah, like I guess like okay, in games usually, you have like textures to make things look as real as possible or make things look solid. And EA, the developer of NCAA 07
It's
football
actually
game,
Tiburon that was the
whatever. It doesn't matter. But
you don't matter.
yeah, who cares? But they forgot to finish the textures on this cannon, but it would shoot every time, and I don't know why. We found that to be the funniest thing.
Yeah, it ended up guiding our path to a victory that game.
It did.
It
Yep.
was our
Glorious day.
Well,
yeah.
here's the
It,
thing.
was, it
actually.
really turned into our cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Deep
was
down, it was our cannon.
Yeah, we like to think that we just bought it and ran
Yeah.
off with it to Temple.
Well, here's
and
the thing,
worship
though.
it now.
I ended up playing another game in that same stadium. The cannon was textured.
Yeah, that's what it makes me so mad. It was a freaking anomaly. We'll never get it again.
I think
it makes me so mad.
I think it was just one of the things that was meant to be.
I guess so.
Yep.
For that one thing. And my next one in the Mountain West Conference, I chose Hawaii
Yeah.
because
That receiver's
Aloha,
good.
and they're really they got an awesome offense from what I saw.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
And they're really fun to watch.
Granted,
yeah.
I think it'll bite them in the ass one game because, you can chuck it 50 times, but I mean it's going to come back to haunt you in one game. But I like Hawaii's offense. I'm with you.
They're great.
Yeah.
And for the Sun Belt, Fun Belt,
The best. Oh my God, it's so
Jesus.
stupid.
Georgia
Christ.
State.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like probably the worst team in the Sun Belt. Absolute garbage. And Jake's like, for the memes, Georgia State.
I think
'cause-
they'll bring something to the table this year.
Yep.
Maybe Tebow Spirit will smile upon them
Why
for
would
some
Tebow
reason.
have anything to do with Georgia?
It makes no sense, but that's okay.
Yep, Tebow's the best.
Tebow is a generous human being.
Yeah,
Generous
he likes
Christian
giving,
boy.
of course.
He's a good Christian boy.
Yeah, this logic is awful, but
There are times where Jacob thinks that he's really funny.
yeah,
There are times he just thinks he's really funny.
yeah,
This is one of those times.
yeah. Well,
hilarious.
well.
Laugh at me.
love me.
Love me.
But with that out of the way and that buffoonery from Jacob, let's get to our Heisman picks. I think we're going to start with Brian here because Brian's pick, I think, is what most people were thinking.
Yeah, I went with the easy route.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I'm not putting a lot of stock in his Week 1 performance.
Yeah,
I'm not.
no one cares for that. I mean, they played Georgia Tech, and like people will have forgot about this game by the time that the season rolls around. Like by the time it's over. So
Well, yeah, but by the end of the month.
yeah,
By the end of the
we're
month.
speechless because like who cares? It's Georgia Tech. Like no one's going to remember this game in about in about 2 weeks. So. Well, we have a little bit of an issue right now. Jacob is.
I'll take care of it in post.
Yeah, no, we keep everything. We are unfiltered, baby. This is what we are. Jacob.
I don't know the name of my husband pick. Yeah. I just told Tyler.
You fool!
I just said I'm going to choose the best person from Alabama. They'll probably win it, and I don't know who it is.
Okay,
I think it's
so
Tui.
his Heisman pick. It's sad that I know it and he doesn't.
Is it Tui? Is that his name?
Tua. You know what?
I thought it was like Ratatouille.
He will for now be known as Tui.
Tui.
Yeah, we're just
I'm
gonna go
choosing
Tui.
Tui.
Yeah, we all love Tui. That's his Heisman pick.
I told you the name 30 minutes ago.
You fool!
And I have short-term memory loss.
I can tell.
My good lord.
Good
I
lord.
thought it was Tui.
Okay, to be fair, this is like the first year he's truly getting into college football.
Yeah.
Don't give me excuses. I don't need excuses.
Yeah. Just tell him he sucks. That's what he
that's
deserves.
right. I take constructive criticism better than I do encouragement.
You're garbage.
Thank you.
We
That's
hate-
not very constructive.
Yeah, we hate you.
It's not very constructive.
But my Heisman pick, it's a little bit out there. Not many people have heard this name. He plays for Nebraska. Quarterback
Which I've heard of.
Martinez. His last name is Martinez. He's actually the brother of Taylor Martinez from who used to also play at Nebraska. He put up a lot of good stats last year. He was just a freshman last year, if I'm not mistaken, and I think he'll have a very good year this year. I think he'll be like that player that jumps out, like jumps onto people's screen. That it's like the brand new toy. Everybody wants to see like the brand new player that no one's been talking about. Like everybody's been talking about Tua or Trevor Lawrence, and I guess I'm just thinking off the grain here. I'm thinking about the Heisman voters like to vote for the kid that no one's really talking about early in the season. Like last year, Tua was the pick all year, and then Kyler Murray won it at the end. So I'm gonna stick with Martinez.
Which I think a lot had to do with the fact that Tua got hurt in the SEC championship
True.
game.
Yeah, and Jalen Hurts, was the one to lead the comeback.
The spirit of Tebow will carry Tui.
Yeah, Tui, our god.
That's right.
Yeah. But we're gonna go into a little bit of pro football right now.
Yes.
Oh my God,
this right
story.
here. Yeah, this story we all think is just
It's sad.
It's
It's
out
really
there.
sad.
very out there. Andrew Luck, Brian, what's your opinion on Andrew Luck?
Him in general, he was one of my favorite quarterbacks in the 2010s.
Yep.
I loved watching him play, and just the fact that through no fault of his own, really, the fact that he has to retire before he turns 30
Yep.
is just heartbreaking to me. I'm just and it's nothing he can help. It's not the fact what he said pretty much sums it completely up. These injuries have robbed me of the joy of football. He just didn't enjoy playing it anymore. And considering the fact that of how to be a professional athlete in any sport, you have to be just 110% in it mentally, not just physically. And
You have to love the game.
And he's not in it. He's at 0% on both accounts, mentally and physically. He's pretty much had to given up.
The Colts haven't really even told us anything about the injury. That's the weird thing about this whole story too.
Yeah,
they told us like 6 different stories. First, it was a knee injury. Then it was something else. Then something else. Then something else.
I think it was when
it's
it
a
first
PR
came
nightmare.
out. When it first came out, it was a calf injury.
Yes,
but then they said it was an ankle injury.
Yep.
And they kept saying, "Oh, he'll be back. Just give it a few weeks here, give it a few weeks there." And then we're a week away from the season starts, and still
he's not
nothing.
there.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll ever find out about that, unfortunately. But for me, I wasn't as much of an Andrew Luck fan just because I'm a Patriot fan. For anybody that don't know, but I will say he's one of them players I always respected because he always said the right things. He seemed like a good teammate to a lot of his players he played with. He didn't whine or cry like Aaron Rodgers does. He was just a guy that, loved the sport, and just crappy management killed him. I mean, this is a pro tip to any NFL team. Get an offensive line, for God's sake. Don't draft a bunch of skill guys because you're going to get your quarterbacks killed.
For any football team.
Yeah.
It's not even just pro football. It's any
high
football.
school.
If you don't have an offensive line on your football team,
there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's the most important. I mean, we saw it with Miami and Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami's offensive line got blown up the entire game. There's nothing that freshman can do against that. I mean, you just play the best you can and get killed. What's your opinion about Andrew Luck, Jake?
I think it's sad, but I think it might actually lead to something that could possibly be pretty good for Luck.
Yeah. Good for just him as a person.
Well, as a person and even career-wise, he can, even though he's not mentally into playing football, and this has been a conspiracy theory that's been going around, that this is the
I know
reason.
where you're going with this, and I can see this happening too.
Yeah, he's got big connections with the NFL or the XFL. I think it's his cousin is the commissioner.
No, his dad.
His dad's the commissioner.
Yeah, his dad's the commissioner.
And I really think that if he wanted to really stick with football and he knows he can't play it anymore,
he can coach it.
He can either coach it, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. I don't know.
Yep.
Anything. But yeah, the actual deal with it, I watched his press conference and it
heartbreaking.
It really is.
Looked like a man defeated.
And it's all management's fault.
Yeah,
they
screwed him up.
I mean,
they decided to draft a bunch of skill players without getting an offensive line first and getting a solid foundation. And I've always said this: build your football teams from the inside, not the outside, because the outside stuff you can get in free agency or you can develop. But an offensive line, only people can only get so big and people can only get so tough. So that's the most valuable thing to build your team on first.
And also, most of your best skill players in history didn't come from the draft, or they were late round picks.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry Rice was a late round pick.
Was he third round? I think.
Yeah, he was later. I know he came from a small school. Randy Moss came from Marshall.
Yeah.
Terrell Owens came from a small school. So I mean,
Antonio Brown
came from a small school. Julian Edelman. So you can build outside talent,
and it's probably a better idea to do so anyway.
Because them kids are hungry and they fight for everything because they didn't get the Alabama or the USC's or the Texas,
and they know what they're going up against.
Yep,
they're going up against name brand.
They got to prove something. But yeah, it's just a sad story for Andrew Luck. Great player, nothing but respect.
And he was a good guy too.
Very good guy.
Very good guy.
Brian, he showed me some videos of Andrew Luck getting like his ass torn up on the field. Like he would get sacked. And he'd be like, "Good tackle, man! Good job!"
Yeah.
And he would always compliment people, and it just feels like that's a really good morale booster for your team.
And I fully believe the fact that if he would have, because here's the thing, and this is an actual fact that I actually found out was the fact that only two other quarterbacks have more touchdowns in the first 6 years of play than Andrew Luck did. He had more wins, yards, and touchdown passes than Peyton Manning did in his first 6 years.
Yeah.
He did. I am fully convinced that if he would have played 6 more years, he would have been a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Now, granted, I will say this: it also is a different era within defense. But I mean, Andrew Luck was a very good player, and he probably won't be a Hall of Famer now. I don't think so.
No,
anyways.
he won't.
He'll be remembered as that career that you'll see on
He's going to
NFL
be a big
Network.
what if story.
Yeah, it'd be like one of them what if stories on NFL Network, but.
Yeah. Almost like another Barry Sanders or something.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders.
No, not Barry Sanders. Bo Jackson.
Yeah. It'll be a name people remember, but it won't, be legendary. But we're going to go ahead and get into the rookies from the NFL preseason.
Yes.
This is we've had some pretty interesting things, especially from the Cardinals.
What did the Cardinals do this time?
No, I'm just saying because they've been a joke this preseason.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Brian, what's your opinion on the NFL rookies? You know what? We're talking about the rookie quarterbacks, but also let's include Cliff Kingsbury in this because he's a rookie head coach of the NFL. Go into a rant.
The air raid doesn't work.
No,
in the NFL,
there's too much speed.
It doesn't.
No, you can run air raid concepts, but you can't just go out there and just full-fledged air raid on people. The game's too fast in the NFL.
I want Kyler Murray to succeed.
Yeah,
I really do. I've ever since Doug Flutie, Drew Brees, and Russell Wilson, I've never taken a quarterback being too small as a legitimate criticism.
No, it's not.
And I want Kyler Murray to succeed. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to succeed under that offense.
He's doomed.
Especially with the worst offensive line in football.
Like we were just discussing, goal line is very important, and Kyler Murray is going to die.
Yes. Because here's the thing. Andrew Luck was 6'5", 230 pounds.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray is 5'10", and 200 pounds.
Yeah. he's in trouble. He can run a little bit, but that can only get you so far in the NFL.
And you got your 330-pound gorillas running at you.
They're going to kill him.
Yeah, they're going to absolutely murder this poor man.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm saying that like because he's smaller, he's going to be like more fragile or more vulnerable. It's just the fact that a smaller body is going to take a much bigger beating when you're getting hit by people that are so much bigger than you. It's just by comparison.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's doomed. He is completely doomed.
I agree. I don't see it going well for him at all, unfortunately. What's your opinion about Arizona, Jake?
Same as it always been.
Yeah.
They're the laughingstock of the NFL.
They're garbage.
I mean,
at least Cleveland people root for.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland, they're like that sort of underdog that's always bad, but everyone's like, I want to see them win. Arizona, at this point, everyone just is pointing and laughing and thinking, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And, I mean, it's fun. Mm-hmm. It's almost like
I'm glad it exists.
They're the Dave Chappelle of the NFL.
Yeah. They're absolute garbage. Their entire organization is ran by buffoons.
They're the crack addict in the alley that everyone laughs at.
Yep. Larry Fitzgerald too. God bless him. That guy has been.
I'm convinced he's one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game.
His career has been wasted.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even say that though, because the dude, he's obviously happy.
Yeah, that's true. He is content with where he's at.
Here's the thing. We saw what he did when he had a Hall of Fame quarterback in Kurt Warner. Imagine if he would have had that for 10 years.
Yeah.
And with the numbers he put up with bad quarterbacks for so many years.
It'd been terrifying.
Well,
He'd be a monster.
Carson Palmer had some good highlights, but he wasn't consistently great.
I almost kind of disagree with you because who else did they have to throw it to?
Well,
Anquan Bolden.
Yeah, they
really?
had a pretty decent receiving core back in the early 2000s. Well, not early 2000s,
late
2000s.
And early 2010s.
Yeah.
It's really only been since like 2014, 2015 where it's just been a train wreck.
That still is 5 years though that you've only had him on the field that you can really rely on.
Or does it go back? Does it go back that far? Was it 2016 where it started getting like really bad? Like what year was it?
I'd say 2016. I remember it got bad the year that New England beat them on opening night with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
and that was the year where everything kind of spiraled down. I think it's the year Bruce Arians retired.
Yeah, because they did go to the NFC Championship and got beaten by Carolina.
Yeah,
so
they didn't get beat; they got walloped.
Yeah,
that was a massacre. That wasn't even worth watching. But yeah, the NFL rookies. The one that I swear everybody's talked about and made fun of, and Brian hates him. But I don't know. I've liked this kid out of college. I think he's a good decision maker. Is Daniel Jones.
Are you talking about the quarterback for the
Giants?
The Giants,
yeah,
the new
guy.
guy.
I like this kid. I think he's going to work out. But again, it's the same issue with the Cardinals. The Giants, for God's sake, need to get a offensive line, please. I don't understand why these teams go after skill players first, but I know it's flashier and it sells better jerseys. But
it's almost like if everyone just listened to us, they'd be undefeated with the O-line, man.
Oh yeah, because we
know more about football than them guys.
Yeah, I mean, listen to Jake here. He's picking Georgia State to win the Sun Belt.
I'm not talking. I'm not giving myself any.
But the O-line, yes.
I'm not singing my own.
It's not that hard. Is what?
Yeah,
is it? I mean, it is hard, but it's just it's not like it's rocket science.
Yeah, it's like these NFL teams.
There's no great secret to winning.
The GMs, it's almost like they're concerned with like the dollars. Like, oh well, we need to get a Saquon Barkley in here or Odell Beckham because they sell jerseys.
Yeah.
But you know what else sells jerseys? Tom Brady. You want to know why? Because they win.
No. It's not because they win. It's because Tom Brady's been their baby for the past 18 years, and I've never seen anybody sell more jerseys than Tom Brady.
Well, he is our Lord and Savior, God himself.
But here's the thing. The reason why he's been their baby is because he's won 6 Super Bowls.
Yep.
And gone to 9 of them.
That's true, but he's also a skill player with a big name.
Yeah, all that 5'2" speed he's got. Real skillful of him.
He can dot a pass up to 20
true.
yards. Come on.
He beat you with his mind.
He's one of the smartest players to have ever played.
Yeah.
Well,
he's.
I mean, I'm not huge on the Tom Brady. I don't like the tuck rule, but that's beside the point.
He's a Raiders fan for anybody wanting to know.
Yeah, I am.
Which makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, actually. John Gruden is my god.
Yeah. The greatest coach ever.
The greatest owner ever. I bet
Lord Gruden.
Lord Davis.
Yep.
Mark Davis. I'm talking about not Al Davis. He's overrated. Mark Davis is the best.
How did we get here?
That haircut.
We
We were talking about rookies.
We were talking about rookies a minute ago. How did we get to Tom Brady and Al Davis?
No, Al Davis. Not Al Davis.
Yeah, he's a hack.
Mark Davis. Mark Davis goes to a beat of his own tune, man.
Greatest. He's the great.
That haircut.
You know a rookie that I'm kind of looking
Him and
forward
John
to?
Gruden have some haircut.
I'm telling you.
A rookie I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how he translates into the NFL is Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
Because I know he has a lot to work on.
Uh-huh.
He does. He has a lot to work on.
He's got good mechanics.
He's not ready to start week 1.
No, I like Washington's decision to not throw him into the fire, unlike Arizona, who's going to get Kyler Murray killed. But continue.
And here's the thing. I don't think Case Keenum is a better quarterback.
I don't either.
Than Dwayne Haskins. But I do think that it's smarter to start the veteran first.
Well, the Browns did this last year, and I think
it worked out.
Yeah, I think it taught Baker Mayfield a lot. He got to sit back and learn.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and I'll be honest, I am rooting for Drew Lock. I'm rooting for Drew Lock. I don't know how well that's gonna go in Denver, but I'm hoping he does
I've not
well.
been very impressed with his but again, it's preseason. No one cares about the preseason. I do want to go off on one little thing here. These people, the media, ESPN, that make this huge ordeal about, the preseason, he hasn't played that good during the let's wait until week 1.
Right.
Can we do that? I mean, as much as we're joking about Arizona Cardinals, I mean, I'll always give them the benefit of the doubt until we see real time, game.
Here's the thing. The reason why we're so down on the Arizona Cardinals is the fact of how bad they were last year, and they haven't really done anything to fix any of it besides Kyler Murray.
Now, I think they've made it worse.
Yeah.
I think think they've hired.
It has nothing to do with the preseason itself.
Yeah.
It has to do with the fact of how their offseason went.
Yeah, and they hired a coach who got fired in college. So, yeah, but tell me how that happens.
And they've got a possible future Hall of Famer, and they're going to ruin that chance for him.
Yep, he's done for. But I think that's about it for rookies. I mean, yeah.
I'm excited to see Cleveland Farrell, if anything. I mean, call it what you want. I think he's going to be a pretty cool player.
Yeah.
Just to watch.
Yeah.
Which I'm bigger on defensive players than I am on offensive players.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm excited to see Chase Winovich from the kid from Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Devin Bush.
Devin Bush is going to be a dandy.
Yeah.
Don't know either of those guys. But
Chase Winovich and Devin Bush.
We kept calling him Foggy Nelson.
We called him Foggy Nelson from Daredevil.
Oh, you're talking about Foggy Nelson. Yeah.
Okay, now you know.
He looks just like the actor that plays
He
Foggy
does.
Nelson on Netflix's
Never mind.
Daredevil.
I know who
you're
He
talking
looks a lot
about.
like him, we thought.
He was a monster though
Oh,
last
God,
year.
yeah.
Beast.
I think he'll be a player like Clay Matthews.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
We're
yes.
very excited to watch Josh Allen.
Oh,
from
yeah,
Kentucky.
yeah.
Josh Allen was a monster.
I kept up
Yeah.
with him whenever he was at Kentucky.
He was a
That dude
beast.
was a monster.
Yeah, he won. What was it? Best defensive lineman from last year? College
something
football,
like
I
that.
believe.
He won some weirdly named one, but that's what it's supposed
Yeah,
to
I
be.
think it's a defensive lineman. I think they name it something weird after like some player from the '60s or
Which is
something.
weird because I think he's playing linebacker now.
Yeah, he's very versatile.
Good. He's a good edge rusher.
Yeah,
That's going to be his.
like a Khalil Mack.
Yeah, he's like a Khalil Mack, who I'm very excited to see play this year because
Me too.
He's turning into my favorite player of the whole NFL right now.
Yep. But we're going to segue into college football upsets.
Yep.
We right now Jake and Brian have the same 2 upsets picked. As for me, I've got my upset pick of the week is one that's a little bit off the walls. James Madison out of Virginia is a FCS program that has been very consistent. They've been the team like right behind North Dakota State. And West Virginia lost a bunch of starters, and they have a new coach. And there's just a lot of factors pointing to James Madison's favor, in my opinion. They're a smaller school. They have 65 scholarships to West Virginia's 85. But I don't know. I'm going to pick the James Madison Dukes to pull a shocker in Morgantown, West Virginia. Brian, what's your upset pick of the week?
My upset pick of the week is Northwestern beating Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this has to do with the fact that I've kind of become a Northwestern fan.
Yeah, they're hard not to like.
I love consistency in football.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one of my favorite factors in football is how consistent can you be, because that's the sign of a truly good program or player or coach.
Yeah,
And if you're consistently 8-4, 9-3
with lesser talent.
I can respect that. I really can.
Yep.
And the fact that one of the other big reasons why is because of that bowl game. I can't remember what bowl it was, but Northwestern playing Utah.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people know about this, but I think Utah was up like 21-0 at halftime, and Northwestern came back and won like 35 or 42-21. Like they just killed them.
It was hilarious.
It was great.
It was 42-21.
Oh yeah,
I think it was because I think Northwestern scored like 42 points in the second half. It was,
I think they had like it was like for Utah 4 straight drives, 4 turnovers.
Yeah,
it was great. I loved it.
Comedy gold.
Oh man. But it kind of made me a Northwestern fan. So I like the idea of them coming in and starting off the season strong by beating a ranked team. So yeah.
Now I think Jake, your upset pick of the week, right here. You've got it listed. You have the same one as Brian.
Sure do.
Yep. Jake forgets things. God help him.
Got Alzheimer's
pretty
at the
much,
age of 22.
He's a very interesting man.
Pretty much
Jake is the Lee Corso of the group. Yeah.
That's right. I liked his pick, though. He's right. We'll go with that. My answer to the upset of the week, yes.
Yeah, Brian's smart.
I'm really not, but
Brian was right there. Northwestern, they're a likable team and all, but they're going to win.
Yeah, they got
that bowl game that they won. Remember that bowl game they won?
No, here's the most important factor, Jake. They have cool jerseys.
Really?
Yeah, that's what you like the most, ain't it?
Them sexy jerseys, man.
Sexy jerseys.
Oh my God.
That's what wins football games.
It's a good shade of purple.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Oregon, sexy jerseys do everything.
The one thing that does bother me, because Northwestern, they're like in Illinois, right?
They're in Illinois.
Which is not Northwest. I figured that they'd be like a Washington team or like in
It means
Oregon
Northwestern Illinois.
Yeah, I think it's like Northwestern, like in the city, like of Chicago.
Oh, really?
I think they're like in the northwest of Chicago.
Oh, okay. That
so
makes
I think
a lot of
that's
sense.
why they're
That's
called
just what
that.
I thought of when I first heard Northwestern, I guess.
Those poor
Again,
guys.
I'm dumb, but
yeah, them jerseys.
Wait, what's the color scheme?
Purple.
It's purple.
Yeah,
Purple.
The purple people
like the Atlanta
eaters.
Legends from the AAF.
Yep, the greatest team ever. Awful.
That was the worst football I ever watched.
Terrible. But we're going to go into the 5 games of the week.
Yep.
We're going to start with this first one here. The Boise State Broncos are traveling to Florida State. This game was previously supposed to be at Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium, but thanks to a hurricane, Florida and all their stupid. Yeah, it's the worst state ever. But
they have meth gators now.
Yeah, Florida's garbage. Not the teams, the state in general.
We apologize to any listener that might be listening that might be listening from Florida right now.
I think they
I'll
understand.
I'll go ahead and say I don't
they get a
apologize.
hurricane every year this same time, and there's always like something has to move around college football.
Hey, I mean, I've watched like Jake the Snake Roberts talk about it, and his snake guy, he loves it at that time of year in Florida because he gets to go around and catch all the snakes again that get flown around the cities.
Your state is garbage. Boise State, the state of the potato, or Florida, the state of idiots. Who do you got?
I'm going to pick Boise State.
Yeah.
Because, I do believe you when you say that Boise State is coming in strong.
And potatoes are more stable.
Well, I mean, I am a fan of the Irish, so I'm going to have to go with Florida because of the potato famine up there.
What are you talking
What?
about? What? Florida famine, potatoes. Idaho is potatoes. Boise State,
yeah,
Idaho.
I know. I said I'm a fan of the Irish, but they never have potatoes because they're always in a famine.
Oh, okay. Well, Jake's picks Florida State, so there you go, people.
You realize complete strangers are going to hear this,
yes.
probably, right?
And they're gonna be like, "God, that Jake guy,
What an idiot!
he's something."
I never claimed to be the smartest
Northwestern,
person.
Stanford. You two have already picked Northwestern. Jake's reasoning is because Brian is so smart, and
That's right.
and Brian's reasoning, he just gave it to you. I'm going to pick Stanford.
Okay.
This is one of our games of the week too. I like Stanford. They're at home. They got one of the best coaches in college football. Northwestern does too, but I guess this being at Stanford, that's what's making me lean that way.
It's a home field advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is going to be an even matchup. But my final score prediction for this is actually going to be like maybe 17-10.
Really?
This will be an ugly, sloppy, violent game. I think.
When's this game scheduled to play?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, they play Saturday.
Well,
Tomorrow.
What games
ugly
do
and
we have
sloppy
tonight?
are our bread and butter.
Huh?
What games do we have tonight?
Right tonight we got Wisconsin and South Florida. That want to be, I think, an okay game. Tonight we do have Colorado and Colorado State, which I'm excited for, just because it's an in-state rivalry.
Yeah.
And But
That'd be cool.
yeah, there's some fun games tonight. But our third game of the week is Fresno State versus USC, my Pac-12 champion. And y'all going to learn a lot about how I feel about the Pac-12. But I'm going to go ahead and say my pick because I actually have Fresno State beating my Pac-12 champion. So, yeah, I have USC winning the Pac-12.
Bit contradictory there, are you?
Yeah. Brian, who do you got in this one?
I'm going to pick Fresno State.
Yeah, me and you both got the same team.
Yeah. I think Fresno State is a better team overall.
They're going to be hungry, too, because they're walking in. I mean, both of them are from California, and they're the little dog. I mean, they're wanting to prove something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because even though USC is not what it used to be, it still has that cachet to them.
Yes.
You know, like they still have all that history to them, and yeah, Fresno State, that is something to like. It's a target for them.
Yes. Jake, who do you got in this one?
Fresno.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We all got Fresno State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to go with Fresno because again, underdogs, and this one actually knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that they were a smaller school, and
Jake knows some stuff.
I do. Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I do know some stuff.
He's so knowledgeable.
2 + 2 equal potato famine in Ireland.
Yep. Good Lord.
You're still on that.
It's amazing. Okay. We have number 9, Notre Dame, traveling to Louisville, the state we are in Kentucky. Who do you all have in this matchup?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah.
Yeah.
Louisville's garbage.
Yes.
Louisville went 2-10 last year.
Well, I don't understand why anyone would put Louisville.
Well,
They're barely a basketball school anymore.
we have a little bit of a surprise for the listeners after this episode, and you might hear somebody that picked Louisville.
I wish we could have had him in house tonight.
Yeah.
Me and him would have fun together.
Yeah, I would have liked to have I would have liked for him to explain himself, but I know why he did it. He hates Notre Dame. But I'm going with Notre Dame too. This is just, who cares? Like this will be a massacre. If we're wrong about this one, I'll drink hot sauce. How about that? I'll drink.
Oh my!
Yep,
An entire bottle or what?
No, just a cup
Jesus
of hot
Christ.
sauce.
Oh, 1 cup. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's more than a bottle of hot sauce. You fool. 1 full cup of hot sauce? You're stupid. What are you thinking?
Well, the little styrofoam cups that are like tiny.
No, you just said
Nope.
1 cup.
Nope. Teacup.
What do you think a cup is?
1 cup?
It's
like
an
a measurement
cup.
used in cooking. It's a lot.
I'm pretty sure when he said that, he pretty much said he's going to pour a little bit, just a little bit, like one single drink into a cup and drink that. I'm pretty sure that's what he meant.
Yeah. Who cares? Notre Dame's going to win anyway.
Yeah.
He said
Notre Dame's
1
gonna
cup. Well, then you won't mind drinking 1 cup of hot sauce if they lose.
God.
Okay, so our game of the week between Auburn and Oregon.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Who do you got, Brian?
Auburn.
Auburn.
Yeah. Okay, look, I'm tired of the Oregon hype.
Yeah.
It's like they've been going in the right direction for 4 years now.
But
Prove
Brian, you
something.
don't understand. They have 72 different jerseys.
I already know where Jake's going with this game.
Oh my God.
Who do you got, Jake?
Auburn.
Whoa! All right. Hey,
Auburn.
viewers
I'm not big on big on hype trains,
Yeah.
and Oregon is the king of hype trains.
but you
right
like
now.
their uniforms.
Love their no, I never said that. I like their diversity. They have 74 different ones, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I
but
actually
not good
would've-
enough for a win this week.
I would have tilted my head. I would have tilted my head if you said you like them because those are the ugliest uniforms I've
They
ever
are
seen in my
garbage.
life.
Yeah, they're
They are
terrible. Every one of them are awful.
They-
But there's
they're
so
no-
many of them. It's great.
Their numbers are huge.
It cracks me up. They're like
It's
it
ridiculous.
goes all the way up their back.
Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know why the Nike owner
Someone-
was like, "Oh, that looks nice."
Someone ought to go the opposite direction to make the numbers tiny.
Yeah,
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
and
Just
then
make 'em
rival
barely visible.
Oregon.
yeah, yeah. That them jerseys are terrible.
It's like, that's number 0. I
It'd be
mean, number 8.
interesting to see- It'd be interesting to see if like there were no numbers on the front and only on the back. That'd be interesting. To
have
see.
like the logo on the front, like the O.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be kind of interesting to see.
That or just make good uniforms.
yeah.
yeah,
I'm going with Auburn in this matchup too. I've learned whenever it's the Pac-12 versus the SEC, pick the SEC. The SEC has better defensive line play. They're more physical. The one advantage Oregon has is they have a senior quarterback to Auburn's freshman quarterback, but everywhere else Auburn is more talented. I've got Auburn winning 27-10. I think this will get ugly quick. I don't see this even being really a game, to be honest with you.
Really? I think it'll be a game, but I'm not trusting Oregon because every single year it's like they're going to go to a New Year's Six bowl, they're going to go into the playoffs, and it's like, how many more times do they have to go 9-4 or 8-5 before?
Yeah, and playing the Papa John's Pizza Bowl.
Yeah, it's just like because I want to see it eventually. Like they've been going in the ever since like that 2015 year where was it 2015 where they went like 3-9.
They went 3-9, yeah, and then after that, after they went 7-6, everybody's like, "Oh, Oregon's back!" Like it proves something.
7-6 means they're back.
Yeah.
Where were they previously then?
Well, they had like a really good year.
If they're now back.
Yeah,
before that bad year.
7-6 is not a really good year, though.
No, it's not.
That's mediocre.
Yeah, it's a mediocre year.
No, I'm talking about the 2014 season.
2014 season, they went to the playoffs, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
2014, they played Florida State in the playoffs and beat them and played Ohio State and Natty
Yeah,
and got absolutely clobbered.
yeah, they went like 13-1 or
Yeah.
14-1, something like that.
13-2.
Oh, okay.
Because they lost a championship game.
yeah, my
But
bad.
yeah.
But then after that, it's just been
Downward spiral.
and they keep saying they're going to come out of it, and they never really go above and beyond.
Their mediocrity.
Yeah.
Defined. And Auburn's mediocrity in the SEC too, but
Mediocrity in the SEC is different.
yeah, mediocrity. Not all mediocrity is equal.
Yeah.
The SEC mediocrity means, oh yeah, you probably finished second or first in other conferences.
And I could be sounding hypocritical right now with me just praising Northwestern for consistently going
You
9-3 and 8-4. But there's no delusionment there. There's no like
Northwestern don't have the talent Oregon does either.
Yeah.
Like Northwestern does it all with just great coaching.
I think really good coaching is more impressive than really good playing.
I agree. Yeah.
But it takes a very intelligent person to be a good coach. Like,
Well, that's
not just like
Yeah.
intelligent with the game, but intelligent with your players and knowing how to mold them yourself
yeah.
and to connect with them on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
And that just says a lot about a person that's a really good football coach.
Yeah, actually, my favorite programs to follow in college football, like we're talking about like these big schools and stuff, but my favorite programs to watch are like Army, North Dakota State.
Army's hilarious. I love watching them, dude.
Yeah, I just love programs like that because they don't have like the talent of like or Northwestern or Stanford because they don't get the talent of like.
When does Army start playing?
Army plays tonight. They
Oh, they
actually
do?
play.
Rice.
Yeah, they're playing right now. Actually, it's 7:00. They're
Around-
actually playing right now. We're going to get. We're going to wrap this up here soon because, like the viewer, we love college football. So
We don't just talk about it.
No.
We watch it.
we put that on a t-shirt.
We watch it.
Yeah, yeah. That's important. We do
watch
watch
when
it.
it sleeps.
Jesus Christ.
He's our lead Corso.
Don't insult Lee Corso.
That's true.
Do not insult Lee Corso.
Yeah.
That's so mean of you. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. And you're trying to take that from me, I'll kill you. Lee Corso's the man.
But we're getting to the end of this episode now. I think we're about to cap this off. There's one more thing I want to discuss. I don't even have this in our notes here. But I sent this to Jake, and I talked to... I'm not talking about the flag. We're just going to skip that. We might save that for another episode. But there is one little thing I want to talk about that's going on in college football.
It has to do with uniforms.
Good God. Did anybody out there see the Rutgers uniforms? Did you see, Brian, did you see what Rutgers did
I
with
did
their
not.
uniforms?
Tell me.
Okay. So Rutgers...
Or show me. Like,
yeah.
Can you bring it up?
Yeah. So Rutgers had this bright idea, and it's just amazing. They're going to do like a throwback uniform to the 1860s because they are the birthplace of college football,
Right.
and their jerseys are going to be long sleeved.
Look at it.
It's good luck in August wearing.
Good
that.
luck in Florida.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Yeah, they're going to burn up.
It's hilarious.
That is miserable.
I can't wait.
I'm burning up looking at that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It looks like it's actually made of like fleece or something too, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be really insulated.
Rutgers is already bad enough. Like Rutgers went 1-11 last year, and I remember we were watching a game against Michigan State. Me and Brian were, and their quarterback on the year had like 7 touchdowns, like 14 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he didn't have that. I actually think that he actually threw his second or third touchdown that game.
That is right. It was something atrocious.
Oh God, it was so bad.
We couldn't believe what we just looked at.
Rutgers is going to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, go Rutgers. They're in the Big Ten, so that is the Rose Bowl tie-in.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're going to the Rose Bowl, guys. Confirmed.
There's not a Chinese chance in hell it happens.
The only-
That would be funny.
The only way it happens
Yeah.
if I play Campus Legend and pick Rutgers as my school on NCAA 07.
Yeah,
That's
on
the only way.
on a video game,
Yeah.
this can
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And also import Tom Brady into it
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, the GOAT. But yeah, I just figured we would talk about that real quick, and we're going to cap this episode off with a nice little surprise for the audience. A good friend of mine, Dakota Adair, decided to be a guest caller this week. He was nice enough to do it for us, and yeah, we're just going to leave it at that.
And he made a point to annoy you
Yeah, he did.
in that.
Yeah,
That was primarily pointed at Tyler.
yeah, you'll see.
Yeah, he's going to have a very ridiculous
He dropped
pick.
a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one. Yeah, his upset pick is really dumb, but we'll end it there. And I hope you all enjoy the second episode. It was fun doing it.
Yeah.
My God, it was fun.
Yeah, so much fun.
I love it.
So you guys have a great weekend, man. And enjoy some football.
Enjoy
Yeah,
some
man.
football. Enjoy some Lee Corso. And
That's right. Lee Corso mainly.
Yep.
He's a treasure. National treasure.
National treasure.
If you say another man is your god again, I swear to God.
I'm polytheistic, Brian.
Go Mormon. We're out.
All right, see ya.
See you guys.
All right, here's my college football pick of the week. I got Boise State over Florida State. This is kind of a fun pick. I want to see Florida State do terrible, which I think they will. I got Stanford over Northwestern, USC over Fresno. I mean, come on. Here's one of my upsets, which I am hopeful for. Louisville over Notre Dame. We all know that Notre Dame is an inferior team. They're not very good. So we're hoping for that. And I got Auburn over Oregon. Come on, guys. It's the SEC. That is college football. So Oregon they need to learn eventually. You just can't step in the South and keep getting your butt whooped on live television. Anyways, any of these teams would be undefeated if they ran the most superior offense, which is the Maryland Eye. All right, let's get it, guys. Go Dogs.